Life is full of work and stress. Parenting can be a mess. Being a woman is hard enough without adding on that extra stuff. We'll cover topics of every kind. Helpful resources we will find. We'll even drink a bottle of wine. Join us. It will be a real good time.
Hi, I'm Amanda,
And I'm Nikki. And I'm Chip.
and welcome to Working Moms Spill the Tea, where we drink a cuppa. We're all cozy in our Jimmy Jams. Go put your Jimmy Jams on. For we are reading Dating After the End of the World by
Which
Geneva
is the only time
Rose.
I'll ever consider dating again.
Aw.
Nikki's dating. The world is
So,
ending.
uh-huh. Unless you find that perfect Disney dad, maybe.
Maybe.
So last time we read chapters 1 through 10, and this time
Yes.
we read 11 through 20. So if you're not caught up, feel free to read and then come back because we would love your thoughts in the comments. To recap, last time we get introduced to Casey and her prepper dad, and then the zombie apocalypse hits, and eventually she ends up back out on his property in the bunker and meets everyone else who has survived so far. And when we pick up, Blake, her nemesis, and JJ, her cousin, are getting ready to go out on a supply run, and she wants to go on the supply run with them, and Blake keeps insisting that she's not ready. So she tries to go appeal to her dad. He's like, no, we gotta stick by the rules. Like, he almost gives in, but then Blake shows up, and he's like, oh, I can't make an exception. Then I have to make exceptions for everybody. And then Blake goes, well, if you fight me and win, then I'll let you go. And she does fight him, and she gets in a couple good moves, but he
Ugh.
whoops her butt.
Yeah.
It was very disappointing. I
It
wanted
was
her
very
to kick his
disappointing.
butt.
Me too. The first thing I put was, there's a quote in there where she says, Blake's an asshole, but he's my asshole. And I said, well, that was fast.
Yeah.
Eye roll. But
Right.
then they
Like,
have their little
why?
battle. Yeah. They have their little battle, and I say, I wish she could have kicked his ass in round one. I know he's a Navy SEAL and all, but it would have been nice to get a few more licks in and less immediate sexual tension.
Yes.
Like,
And like, I get that like part of it is Casey's got to grow and get back in shape, and maybe Geneva's trying to be a little realistic, but it would have been really fun to
yeah.
put him in his place first,
Yeah.
and then maybe
I mean,
Casey could still train.
yeah, exactly. Like, you don't want to see the person like that get to be right.
Exactly. We hate to see it.
Yes.
Um,
But it is
and then in
realistic, so.
yeah, and then in chapter 12 we meet another family that's staying with them. So, and I find like this story made me a little suspicious at first, but because of something that happens later, I guess my suspicions are unfounded. But there's a family that doesn't know what's going on, and that's the part I found weird. And they were traveling, and their car broke down, and it happens to be close to Dale's property. So Chris is walking, trying to find help for their car. Dale's like, oh my gosh, grab your family and get on my property right now. And they've been trying to pretend that it's just like an endless summer camp right now. They're shielding the boys. They have two young boys from what's actually happening outside. And so Chris and Helen, his wife, are pretending that they're just camping for a while and they've met these really nice people and they're all just having so much fun. And so they have no idea of what's going on outside of the fence.
Mm-mm.
But I thought that
I
was
said
weird,
that
and I
whole.
expected something to maybe come of that.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I thought it was weird that they were kind of like keeping to themselves almost in this like separate house.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also said it pulled on my heartstrings that Dad would immediately take them in like that. And I also, in
Yeah.
parentheses, put, I just keep waiting for her ex to show up. I keep waiting for the fiance to show up. I called him her ex because he bailed on her and she
Casey's
was,
fiance.
yeah, and she was mad at him. And so, but I keep waiting for him to
Do
show up.
you think he'd be able to? Because she didn't give him very much information.
See, I'm not sure because I got the impression in the first part of the book that she told him a totally different state even than what he was in. I thought she had said something like that, and so then I don't know. But
I can
I
look back
also
and try to
I
find
just
it.
kept expecting it storyline wise because I was like, that ended so abruptly, and we don't know that he actually
Yeah.
like ended, and his car is gone. So I just kept thinking somehow he was going to show up.
I regret telling Nate about my dad and his compound. It was day 20 of us being locked in silent isolation. I was going stir crazy, and I'd gotten into a bottle of whiskey. Well, more than gotten into it. And then I told Nate everything. Everything I had been hiding from him about my past and my upbringing. He hasn't dropped it since I brought it up. For him, it's salvation. For me, I don't know what it is. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, I guess my head just
Okay,
made
and
that
you
up.
said he lives. Well, Nate goes, and you said he lives in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. So he
Mm.
does know it's Wisconsin. So it could be that she's hiding from us how much he does know of the location. Or it could be that she
Yeah,
literally said, oh, it's out in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin.
yeah. I
Maybe he
just
would
kind of
find it.
assumed
I
from
don't
the
know.
way that they separated that that was going to come back around somehow, and then all this
It might.
tension that they're building between her and Blake, like there's going to be an
Yeah, that would
obvious.
make sense.
But yeah, that's what I have in my notes for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
So, right. So Blake and JJ go on the supply round without Casey. Casey's dad starts
Womp
showing her
womp.
around. And then he's like, there's a part of all of this that you haven't seen yet because I completed it after you were gone. And he takes her down into this huge munitions area, basically, where her aunt and uncle are getting guns ready, cleaning them, assembling them, things like that. So now he's got like this huge arms haul. And then, of course, she gets to see her aunt and uncle who are like, oh my gosh, you're alive. That's the theme of like the first 20 chapters is people figuring out that Casey is still alive.
So
Oh,
true.
and then they go down there to like get some stuff so they can go to the range.
Yeah.
But one of the things that Casey's dad has down there is her old throwing stars because she was really good at being a little ninja and doing throwing stars. So he wants her to get used to using those again too.
So she has a flashback that tells us a little bit more about her history with Blake. Basically, after
Yeah.
many years of bullying, they have a summer apart. She blossoms as a woman a little bit, and they're back at school. She's trying to leave school, and her truck won't start. And for some reason, he offers to come up and help her. And she's debating the whole time, like, why is he suddenly being nice to me? Is it because I look better now?
Right.
Like, is this a trick? And I put,
Right.
girl, no way. No, no way. This is about to be a prank. And that's when I had the thought that you had before about how he's going to pretend to be nice to her and then crush her.
Yeah. Well, and
So I
what
said,
really
it's not a
floors me
bullying
too
thing.
is
She fell for him and maybe he broke up with her. Like, you're kind of left wondering, like, what
yeah, but
happens with that.
she gives in way too easily. Like, she's
Yeah.
all like, oh, I'm going to keep my guard up. Oops, never mind. I changed my mind in 2 seconds. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it was from a feminist perspective, very disappointing.
Yeah. Stick to your guns, woman.
Right. Trust your gut.
Right. But yeah.
So you basically get just the little flashback of that. And you're like, okay, so something happened.
Yeah.
He started being nice to her, but we don't know where that went.
Yes.
And now we're back to
and then
the farm.
Yes. And they're all out doing their shooting thing, practicing stuff, and then they start to hear like screaming and gunshots and things. And Casey's dad is like, oh my gosh, let's go. Casey gets there first.
Off. Yeah.
Yeah. And the 2 little boys are running away from the fence line. So we don't know like what happened, like if they went exploring too far. if they went somewhere they weren't supposed to go because they don't really know what's going on. But something had happened. The two boys are now running back towards the house. Their dad is out there shooting at a ton of zombies. There are so many that instead of just getting stuck on the wire, like the first few got stuck, and the rest of them are using them to get over the fence and breach the
Climbing
fence.
over. Yeah.
Yeah. So Chris is doing the whole Greg thing and just shooting wildly. Casey is trying.
That's me
Casey's trying to
flinging
be a
this
little more
ninja stars.
intentional. I love it. And in all the
But I
chaos
did it this
and
way
the
like I'm
madness,
Spider-Man.
yeah. Sometimes Jack will do this, and I'm like, "Are you going rock on?" And it's like, "No, he's being Spider-Man." So in all of the madness, because it's just the two of them at the moment, Chris gets bit, and then she's like talking about. She's using all this great language about the wound and how the blood is going everywhere, but Casey's trying to be like, "Hey, like, let's get through this. I can patch you up, like, whatever." And he just looks at her and he's like, "Tell my family I love them, and maybe we should do a trigger warning, actually."
Yeah,
But
trigger warning here.
Yeah, he unsubscribes. So,
Yes.
and
So
right in front of her, and she's just like,
panics, says, "Tell my family I love them," and ends it.
yes. And my first thought was, "You idiot! You don't know if you're going to turn." But they all don't know that.
Yeah.
Casey knows that. They do not. So
right.
After
so she's
he does
standing there in
that,
shock, like, what happened? Why did he do that? Oh my God. And then everyone else kind of catches up with the group and starts attacking the zombies.
Yes, exactly.
Or the biters.
So they take care of the zombie breach. They clean everything up. I would not be surprised if Blake was kind of behind this somehow. Because in the next chapter, you find out that, because she's like, it's so weird that there's so many of them traveling together.
Yeah, where did they all come from suddenly?
Yeah, what's going on here?
In this large group.
And then when Blake and JJ get back, you find out that they found an abandoned coach bus. And that basically they're all assuming the coach bus got filled with zombies. And it sounds like this is a little insane. It sounds like they think the bus got driven there with the zombies on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure what the capacity of the zombies are, but it does sound like they think maybe people were on the bus and it was driving and some people started turning into zombies and then they turned the whole bus into zombies.
Something.
But
yeah.
the bus was like broken down fairly close to the farm, and Blake and JJ pass it on the way and don't stop to check it out or
don't
think
look
anything
at it
of
at
it.
All.
Like,
what?
Blake, the super suspicious Ultra Navy SEAL, doesn't think, let's check this out.
It did make me think a little bit too that maybe JJ is the problem or in on things or whatever, but like that would be betraying a lot of family. But maybe there's like a story we don't know about yet that would make him want to do that. I don't know.
We're getting some weird flashbacks.
Yeah.
Maybe JJ shows up in one of them.
And there are, like, it's not just like the stuff with Blake. We're going to get into something else too. And it's like, Casey, how many tragedies are you going to have in your life? Like, what's going on right now?
Yeah.
Maybe we've got something else going on too. I don't know. But it's just weird that the bus was there. It's got to be definitely planted. The question is just who did it. And is it one of them or is there some... One of the things that I've noticed about books like these is sometimes they'll keep a character out until the very end, and that's the character that you should have been worrying about all along. And it's like, it's interesting because it provides a last minute twist, but also like you're hiding so much at that point that the people who are trying to solve the book as they go literally can't because they don't know everything.
Yeah.
But after that whole thing happens with Chris, and after they do what they can to comfort his family, they're all talking. they're having dinner, talking a little bit about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Casey says that, or she lets them know basically that you don't know that you're going to turn into a biter, as she calls them.
Yeah.
So then she
And they
starts
don't want to
telling them
believe
these
her
are the
at
different,
first,
right? Especially Blake.
which is
Blake was being a real
crazy.
jerk about it.
Like, if
Yeah.
you look at the picture overall, she was in the city where everything happened,
Right.
and she saw everything,
And a
she works in
doctor.
a hospital, and she's a doctor. They're out in the country. They kind of know what's
Right.
happened, but they're very disconnected from everything. So why
Right.
they like put up such resistance to her information at first until she showed them her bite?
Right.
Like,
Right.
I did not understand that.
Yeah. Yep. So she shows them the bite. She's like, there's 3 things that can happen. These are the 3 things. He had basically a 66% chance of being fine. And at that point, Blake's like, well, I don't know if I would call not having any of your memories fine. Like, maybe that's just as bad. But her whole point is she doesn't know if that's permanent, because anytime that
Yeah.
that's happened to someone, it's just been a situation where they don't last long enough to find out if it's permanent or not. She's like, maybe there's something we can do about it. I don't know. But now
Yeah.
everybody knows. And they think, maybe we don't tell Helen and her kids right away that their dad didn't have to do that to himself. So they haven't told them about it, but
That was
everyone else
heartbreaking.
knows. Yeah. I just
You read
felt
that part of the
so
book and you
bad
go,
for his
why?
kid.
What did you do? Ugh.
Right. And then Casey and Blake have another fight, of course.
Yeah, and then she has this
And
dream
then-
about him, and I said, that dumb dream. Girl, get therapy. You're attracted to
know.
men who are mean to you. Like, that is so unhealthy.
First she has a nightmare. Then she has a dream that he's waking her up from the nightmare and being so tender. But then the way he really wakes her up is great, because it's time for her to start training. They've decided, first of all, that everyone has to train. But Blake takes her on an early morning run first.
Now that they've had
And
this
so he
big
rips-
breach.
Right. So he rips the covers off of her. He's trying to get her out of bed. She's like not getting out of bed. And then he throws water on her, and she's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? But eventually she comes down and joins him for the run. Again, he's making predictions about how bad she's going to be at the run, and they turn out to be true.
And he's right.
But when she gets back, it's time for group training. So they're all starting to... Oh, and Greg is in the group training, and he's like, why am I in here? And Blake's like, you know why, because you shot like crap last time. So yeah, they all do their group training together, and then she does get a few shots in on him then too, with some more sexual innuendo. But she gives him a good kick in the dick, and that's very fun.
That was so satisfying.
Yes. So she definitely
You know
gets some
why.
good moves in on him. And then they have
Do you remember
Chris's
that movie?
funeral. What movie?
It's a movie, Ashton Kutcher's in it with Cameron Diaz, and there's a scene at the very end after the credits where they go and like knock on, was it her ex's door or something, and she's kneeled down on the ground, and he knocks on the door, and the ex opens the door, and she punches him in the dick right away, and then he's like, why? And they just yell, you know why? And like that's the end of the movie.
Don't they
can't
say
remember
that
what that
in the
was.
book too?
Is it? Maybe. I don't know. Is it Cameron Diaz or was it? I don't know. Whatever. I'll have to look that up.
Maybe she doesn't say it. I thought she said it in the book too. And I was
don't
like,
know.
is she quoting
I don't
it then?
remember.
But I don't see it. I think I made
No,
it
it
up.
just makes me think of that movie.
That's funny.
Anyway.
Crap, what else was I thinking about? I started thinking about something else when I was looking through the end of... Oh, so up until now, like, all the chapters have been, like, 3-4 pages, like, super short. Chapter 18 was so long that I started to wonder if, like, I had just flipped chapters and forgotten to, like, update that in my notes. But it's, like, super long. And then in chapter 19, they have the memorial service for Chris, and then even though the family wants to bury him, they point out that like that's not very smart. They don't know if the virus that's now in him will contaminate the water, things like that. So they cremate him. And then Casey's dad shows up while Casey's hanging out around the fire hours later. And you find out that when Casey was a kid, like 6 years old, she was with her mom. Like their dad was at work. Her dad was at work. Her and her mom had gone to bed for the night. And then they start hearing noises in the house. And it's an intruder. Two intruders. One, I think by the sound of things, is supposed to be younger, perhaps inexperienced, doesn't know what he's getting into. But the mom tells Casey to run, but he has a knife and he uses it on Casey's mom a lot. And Casey, instead of running, does the dumb kid thing and goes in there, sees it happen. The younger guy freaks out and takes off. The older guy takes off with him. So Casey's trying to like be like, Mom, what do I do? You know, and the phone line has been cut, so you can't call.
Yeah, she says, call the
So
police.
she-
she picks up the phone. The
Yeah.
phone's dead.
Yeah. So she ends up going to the neighbor's house. By the time she gets back, the mom is gone. And
Yeah, so she runs
basically
in the middle of the
Casey-
night in her nightgown to Elaine's house, which is
Right.
like over a mile away.
oh, that's right, it was Elaine.
Is there a rule?
Yeah. Yes. So, of course, Casey and Dale, her dad, both blame themselves for what happened in different ways. I'm wondering if there's more to the mom thing. Like, maybe this wasn't a random intrusion, or maybe we're going to find out that, like, one of the intruders was someone that they knew or something weird like that. But
Yeah. I had
I'm
that
also
same
like,
hunch that
maybe-
one of these intruders is one of these dudes that's on the ranch, and we'd find that out later.
Ooh,
like
that's
what
possible.
I thought in my head.
because they're too,
But-
she's too young for either of
Kind
them
of
to
even
be
wondered.
Blake.
Yeah, I kind of wondered at first, like, is this Blake? And then I was like, no, she's like 9, I think,
Same.
when it happens or something. So,
6.
oh, I thought she
But-
was 9. Okay.
But what if it's someone related to Blake? Or it means nothing
Intrigue.
other than building up some background story because the story is about zombies.
We have
But-
to know what happened to her mom.
Chris was supposed to go on night watch that night. Obviously, he can't now. He's kind of dead. So
He's kinda
Casey offers to step in. Of course, Blake's like, you can't. But this argument she wins. And
Yeah.
with the caveat
She's like, I know
of
this
she has to
property
let
better
Blake
than
show her
anyone. I
around.
built it.
Exactly. So Blake shows her around the night watch. He's being annoying the whole time. She goes off on him. And then they actually have like a little nice chat, a little heart to heart. And he admits that he lost his mom when he was younger too. The mom had cancer. It's why him and his dad moved. So they bond over both of them having lost their moms when they were younger. And then that's about it. She's has her little tour of the property. He tells her how to do night watch when she does it. And that's where we leave off.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ta-da! Any
Will
final
Casey
thoughts on
survive
11
night
to
watch?
20?
No, just
That's true. She's still on it when we leave her.
we had to give you guys a cliffhanger.
Right. All right. Well, as always, thanks for joining us. Next time we will read chapters 21 to 30. Yes, 21 to 30. So go ahead and get those read. Let us know what you think so far in the comments. Drop your theories. I'd love to see what you think is going to happen next. And we will see you next time. Bye.